chief financial officer of former US President Donald Trump's company, has pleaded not guilty to tax crime charges. Alan Weisselberg has been charged with fraud and grand larceny after a 2-year investigation into the company. It's a witch hunt.
Given the nature and the unprecedented nature of these charges, that certainly that's the reason they were brought. Okay, if the name of the company was something else, I don't think these charges would have been brought. In fact, I am fairly certain they would not have been brought if the name was a different name.
Christian Salumi is following the story for us in New York. How serious are these charges, Christian?
Well, it's pretty serious. It was a 25-page indictment alleging a 15-year tax avoidance scheme. And the CFO, the chief financial officer for the Trump organization, was accused of basically trying to avoid taxes on $1.7 million in income with the help of the Trump organization, which has also been charged in this indictment. To talk about what this all means, we have with us now a white-collar defense attorney, Dmitriy Shakhnevich. Thank you so much for joining us and answering some questions about this just breaking news from the courthouse. Can you tell us, the Trump organization says this is a politically motivated investigation. Is it unusual to see charges like this brought in criminal court?
So corporate defendants, generally speaking, as opposed to individual defendants, extremely rare, particularly in state court. In federal court, you will get indictments against corporations from time to time, but obviously extremely rare, particularly in these tax scenarios. Typically, corporations don't face criminal liability here, but that doesn't mean that it's an unjust prosecution or a selective prosecution or any wrongful kind of prosecution.
It certainly is unusual in that it is the company of a former president. How much pressure do you think that Alan Weisselberg is under to cooperate with prosecutors and investigators?
Well, this investigation has been ongoing for nearly 3 years, as far as I understand. So we should certainly explore the possibility that he's been offered to cooperate already. And perhaps he doesn't know some of the information that they may think he knows. Perhaps he's not willing to share it. But cooperation will remain on the table, as it does in every white-collar case. And his lawyer, like every good criminal defense lawyer, will explore cooperation continuously in the next couple of months and years.
So far, no charges against the former president, but what are the implications for him and his company as things now stand?
Well, certainly to the extent that he didn't anticipate an indictment coming down, in theory, he should not sleep as well as he did perhaps several nights ago. But again, right, even the people indicted in this case are presumed not guilty, presumed innocent, as our law states. And he is, as somebody who is simply, at this point, tangentially involved, is presumed innocent, and that's how he'll remain.
What would it take, do you think, to see this elevated? The prosecutors say that the investigation is ongoing. What more do you think we could see, and what will they be looking for?
Well, there will be an investigation that is continuous here, right? Only because an indictment came down and there's a discovery process now and the hearing process, that doesn't mean that their investigation stops. And there will be more evidence turned over now that this case is in court, from the defense lawyers to the prosecutors. Who knows what they'll find?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Again, the attorneys for Alan Weisselberg do say that they plan to fight these charges if they are not showing any indication that they plan to cooperate with these investigators. He's been with the Trump organization for nearly 50 years. He's 73 years old. President Trump has described him, and the Trump organization has described him as a devoted father, husband, grandfather, and a loyal employee.
Christian Salumi, thank you very much indeed.